discovered China. Chuan, one of the earliest characters in China, means a river running through the valley. In Yunnan, China, 3 rivers flowing parallel to each other form this ancient character. What powers of nature created this miracle? Discover China brings you the tale of the mystery of the 3 rivers. $1.5 billion years ago, the Earth was still a world of water. Approximately 450 million years ago, the ancient Mediterranean Sea started to shrink and the subcontinent of India was pushed towards the Eurasian plate. This resulted in one of the most dramatic mountain-making movements in the Earth's geological history. The Himalayas sprang up and collided with the Mountains. In the area where East Asia, West Asia, and the Qinghai-Tibetan Plateau meet, a gigantic compound formation was formed, one of the most highly compressed on Earth. Originating on China's Qinghai-Tibetan Plateau, the 3 rivers suddenly stopped running eastwards. They began flowing south. They passed through the high mountain ranges. To the west lies the New River. In the center lies the Lengtseng River, and the Jinsha River lies to the east. The shortest distance between the Lengtseng and Jinsha rivers is 66 kilometers. The Lengtseng and New rivers are only 19 kilometers apart. The 3 rivers flow parallel to one another for 170 kilometers north to south through steep mountains. They run side by side, but never converge. As a result of this phenomenon in Yunnan, China, the great forces of geological evolution gave birth to a unique natural wonder, the 3 parallel rivers. The New River surges forward between Gaoligong Mountain and Biluo Mountain. Flowing through the border area, it is the most remote of the 3 rivers. Many of its banks are guarded by steep cliffs. The mountains on either side of the river rise to altitudes of over 2,000 meters. Surprisingly, atop these formidable mountains live a dozen minority nationalities, including the Li Su, Nu, Dulong, and Pumi people. Thanks to the isolation of high mountains and great rivers, their ancient ways of life have been well preserved. Laomudang is a village located in the New Mountains on the east bank of the New River. This village houses the New people. Every morning, after having breakfast, the villagers begin their daily farm work. One day, Se Cai, a villager from Laomudang, while on a trip outside the village, was hit by a landslide. He was injured and suffers from weakness. The villagers decided to help Se Cai by arranging a soul-calling ritual. The shaman is Se Cai's 85-year-old uncle, La Ji. Since the villages are isolated, the new people's methods of production and lifestyle have remained virtually unchanged for ages. This is perhaps why some of their ancient rituals still exist today. For the soul-calling ceremony, a sumptuous meal for the spirits of nature is prepared. Se Tsai's family are here to lend a hand. They will witness the process of Se Tsai's soul being restored. The eggs symbolize his lost soul. As a very important part of the rite, Se Tsai and the old man, La Ji, must eat the eggs. Then it is believed that his lost soul has returned to his body. The 1-hour soul-calling ritual comes to an end. The new ethnic minority, consisting of 280,000 people, live in the Three Rivers region in Yunnan. They are one of the oldest nationalities in China. Legend has it that the new people were born prior to the new river. The new people, the new river, and the new mountains make up a world in harmony. Like the New, the Li Su people built their villages deep in the high mountains. They are the largest ethnic group in the Grand Gorges of the New River, with a population of about 450,000. Today is the third day of a young woman's wedding. It is local custom for the woman to take her husband back to her parents' home for a formal visit with all of her relatives. The newlyweds' arrival has brought a festive atmosphere to the village. Rice mixed with pork is being prepared. It is eaten by hand, hence the name, Shou Zhua Fan, rice eaten with hands. The couple in a close embrace are sharing a cup of rice wine. It is called Tong Xin Jiu, or wine of one heart. This custom has been observed for centuries. The entire village will be up all night. Living in a confined area full of mountains and waters, the local people face many hardships and difficulties. As the local economy is underdeveloped and the geographic conditions contain far too many dangers, building roads and bridges in the region is simply impossible. It is these age-old rope bridges that demonstrate the local people's intelligence and creativity. Sliding along the rope bridge is an exhilarating experience. Every day, Children living on the west bank of the New River have to fly over the river using the rope bridge to study at the school on the other side. The pulley, as a transportation tool, is indispensable to the local people's lives. Today, rope woven with split bamboo has been replaced by a cable, and the wooden hook has given way to a steel pulley. The rope bridge is still in use for transportation and the delivery of goods. Having a population of only about 6,000, the Dulong people are the smallest nationality in China. They live here in the deep valleys of the New and Dulong rivers. The Dulong villages are nestled among the mountains and rivers. Their wood huts are ingeniously built on the steep slopes. This is a Dulong rug. It is a distinctive handicraft woven with linen and cotton. The rug is normally 27 inches wide and up to 20 feet long. It is used both as clothing and as bed sheets. Selling Dulong rugs is a major source of income for the Dulong. This old Dulong woman bears a tattoo on her face. Because the multicolored butterfly is an object of worship by Dulong women, they have it tattooed on their faces. A more reasonable explanation for the tattoo is that Dulong girls attempted to prevent larger tribes from snatching them away by wearing the tattoos on their faces. There was a time when small ethnic groups were often looted by the more powerful ones. The Dulong bull, long raised in the mountains, has a huge body and savage temper. It is considered the most important property of the Dulong. Having lived in a secluded environment all their lives, the Dulong still adhere to their ancient religion and customs. Every year they butcher a bull to worship heaven. They believe offering a bull as sacrifice is the only expression of their reverence for the deities in heaven. The villagers are moving around the bull, singing and seeking. Each completed circle symbolizes one act of praying to heaven for a good life. The two shamans' job is to kill the bull with spears. The highlight of the ceremony comes when the bull is presented as a sacrifice to heaven. In the end, the meat of this divine bull is distributed to all of the villagers. In the basin of the New River, people express their pious beliefs and their reverence for heaven through these ancient tribal customs. There are a dozen ethnic groups living on the banks of the New River. Respectively and harmoniously, they have preserved their own way of life. Living by the surging New River, they continue to observe the traditions inherited from their ancestors. And in the basin of the Lungsung River, just a dozen kilometers away from the New River, different cultures have peacefully merged into one another. In the middle of the three parallel rivers is the Lungsung River. It takes its source from the Tunggula Mountains in Qinghai Province and flows for over 1,000 kilometers between the Yunling and the New Mountains in Yunnan. The Langtong River is the upper reaches of the Mekong River. It flows through 5 countries in Southeast Asia before joining the South Sea in Vietnam. It passes through more countries than any other river in Asia. Its vast basin made it possible for different civilizations to spread upstream and blend into one another. Zhejiang is a small village located in the New Mountains alongside the Langtong River. Its residents are mostly Tibetans. The extraordinary thing is that there is a vineyard near this Tibetan village. The owners are Mr. and Mrs. Nongbu, a couple in their 50s. How did the vineyard come into existence among the high mountain ranges? What caused all these changes to the traditional life in this small Tibetan village? It is said that the vine originated from France over a century ago. As no manipulation has been made to this vine, it remains as it was when it was first brought to this village. This vine can hardly be found even in France today. Introduced along with the grape was winemaking techniques. Producing wine is now a major source of income for the Tibetan couple. 6 Swiss and French missionaries came to Zhejiang at different times during the 19th century. They brought with them grape seeds. They also brought the seeds of Western religion. A Catholic church was set up in Zhejiang in 1921. The traditional Gothic roof takes the shape of a Chinese pavilion. This classical Chinese architecture feature conveys a welcoming message and a friendly atmosphere. But its Western origin is revealed in the large bell tower and the crosses atop the roof. Once inside the church, it is completely the domain of God. Despite alternate clashing and merging of different religions for over a century, Tibetan Buddhism is still the leading religion in the area. The Nongbus continue to make red wine. They also continue to worship their living Buddha. They believe the gospel from heaven blesses people too, though in different ways. Here, different religions coexist peacefully, and different cultures merge harmoniously. The Jinsha River originates in the Tunggula Mountains on the Qinghai Tibetan Plateau. It is the easternmost of the 3 parallel rivers. It's a canyon river full of shoals and sharp bends. Known as the upper reaches of the Yangtze River, the river is 2,308 kilometers long. It forms the Tibetan Sichuan provincial boundary. Through the connection of the Tea-Horse Caravan Road, the Tibetans have become a major ethnic group living in the area, and Tibetan Buddhism is virtually the only religion in the area. This small village by the Jinsha River is called Bangzi Land, or Gold Sand in Tibetan. Every day, the first thing Tsulin Zoma does after waking up is to burn incense made of pine needles and nuts. For Tibetan Buddhists, burning incense is a way to express their pious worship for the Buddha. Her grandmother is lighting an oil lamp in the Sutra Hall. Quite a lot of Zilin Zolma's family's income goes to the Sutra Hall. Buddhism was introduced to Tibet in the 8th century. After blending with some primitive religions, it has evolved into a Buddhist belief system with characteristic Tibetan elements. The Three Rivers region is full of steep inclines and torrential currents. Navigating the rivers is impossible. Conversely, a route was opened up among the towering mountains. For thousands of years, it has been the most precipitous path for one of the world's highest terrain. Tea, known to be rich in vitamins, is essential for the inhabitants of the plateau, whose staple diet is animal meat. The mountain people use mules to transport their produce among the path to trade with the outside world. This trade route in southwestern China is known as Chama Gudao, or Tea Horse Caravan Route. A long, hard journey has ended, and the caravan on the Tea Horse Road eventually gets back home. The whole village is excited. The Hanzo dance is performed to the accompaniment of a Tibetan two-stringed fiddle. It is a popular Tibetan dance, more cheerful and relaxing than the traditional dances. The Three Rivers, secluded from the noisy cities, are inhabited by people who cherish and worship nature. These people believe that a good life will always be there for them. They also believe that they can communicate with the mountains and the Three Rivers so long as they sincerely sing out their reverence for them. So long as people are generous towards one another and choose to live in harmony, nature will take good care of them and bless them with happiness.